out that it was a guy in Michigan trying to get a mortgage off my name. Very strange.
Interesting.
Yeah, you're right. KSE, it looks like you're talking constantly, but I don't hear you. But your name lights up. We'll see.
Sometimes I turn off the mic manually.
Oh, sure. That makes sense then. Okay.
I don't feel like belching over the internet. So.
That's okay. I've just seen a lot of times when people are lit up green, but they're not saying anything, it's because they've broken and they need to rejoin.
Sure.
But as long as you
I'm
can
drinking
hear
a
us,
lot of kombucha these days. So.
Yeah, as long as you can hear us, I don't think that's what's
one
happening.
more minute, then we'll get going.
Testing, 1, 2, 3.
We got you.
Crisp and clear, 5 by 5. Let me check with Adam on the sidebar.
Yeah, he's probably
restarting his computer or something.
I'd say he's
probably punching himself that this is happening.
Oh, and it always happens right when the game starts. We'll give him a little time. Yeah. Oh, and by the way, you guys get into the mountain, and within hours, the sky is open and it's raining over an inch an hour for 3 days. I'm just going to let you know it's just raining hard. And further down the slopes of the mountain, you can actually see occasional flash floods in the briars.
Yeah, I'm glad we're not out there.
Agreed.
I went through my notes, and I've actually had as many TPKs from flash floods as I have from monsters.
Jeez.
Yeah. All right. Like I said, we'll give Adam a minute or two, but we'll get started. He can catch up quite quickly. And at KSE, what we do normally if somebody can't make it, and this is what happened last time, is the other players sort of vote on what you're going to do, and we do your best to keep you in the background. You still get full experience. So you actually were very useful last time, guarding the camp and moving forward.
All right. We did bring you along. We just kind of forgot about you.
We kept you in the middle of the group. I occasionally
disarmed the track,
that sort of stuff.
Yes, you did.
All right.
Oh, nice.
Let's go ahead and get started. We'll wait for Adam. He should be here in a few. So last week, you guys are now moved in. You're camped out in what I call the North Guard area. You got a lot of plans ahead of you. What do you guys want to do?
Well, we had some plans. Do we have a particular order, Rogue, that...
I think we wanted to throw down the altars first.
Sure.
Yeah, we can do one of those a day because we only have the 1/3 level spell with Adam.
And what spell are you using to throw him down?
Oh, let me check. Issue book. So I believe the plan was to use... a bless and a prayer spell.
All right. You go in with your religious brothers and the clerics. Excuse me. Cast a bless and a prayer. Or are you going to do the ice or the magma first?
So we did talk about we wanted to have the whole party there.
Sure.
I think I'm going to pick magma at random unless anyone has a better idea.
Any complaints?
My only concern is potentially there might be whichever altar remains will become the dominant one in that force. So might be better to do ice now. Could not matter as far as I know, though.
Yeah, you're saying that we'd rather deal with heat than cold.
Well, I do have that ring, so it's just the idea that if it becomes more dominant, we can deal with that, or at least reduce its effects somewhat.
Yep, I see your logic.
We're still going to have to do the extremes regardless.
Right. So you're doing ice first then.
Yep.
All right, cast the bless, and you can see sort of sweat or condensation appear on the altar. You see the prayer, and suddenly the cold from that side of the altar vanishes, And you're very lucky that you gave Calvin that ring of fire resistance. He's able to get out of there without his clothes catching on fire. So that altar's out.
All right. But now that passageway is hot enough that it would be hard for us to pass today.
Right, you have to skirt the far wall and be careful, like covering your face with your cloak and stuff to squeak pie.
Yeah, I was afraid of that.
Good call, because now we can do the fire one with the ring, with the help of the ring, probably.
Hello, Adam. You're just in time.
There you go, Adam. Perfect timing.
Well, we just blew your 3rd level spell. I hope you don't mind.
He's joining voice, I can tell. All right, so what's going to be next, guys?
Do we want to go throw rocks at the choked out prisoners? Or go look at the man under the blanket?
Oh, also, do you want to just tell Adam what you told us about the prisoners? If once he actually gives us a vocal.
I think he's dropped me a line on the side. Yeah. Wait for him to get audio. Good. He can hear us. He's checking on his push to talk. Yes, Adam, the prisoners, the goblins don't know much more, and the cultist is too far gone to tell you much more. But since you're the ranking cleric, it's your decision what happens with them. Execute or take the count. We can wait on that reply. So you guys head back and Adam's typing, Rogue's typing. I think that one of my favorite things ever is Lou Pulsifer, the legendary game designer, taught me to say "bah" because he really just did it.
Okay.
Yeah.
Can you hear me okay now?
There we go.
We heard somebody.
There you are.
Yeah.
Okay, good. Yeah, I had to push to talk.
God, hated when that happened.
Yeah, I just didn't
Voice
understand. I
activated
just
the
didn't
win.
recognize your voice.
Now you're 5 by 5.
Excellent.
All right, crew. So it looks like you've turned off the ice altar. You've got the rest of the day back in the rest of it. What are you guys going to do?
Do we want to try an assault on the giant man?
Yeah, either that or the plan to throw rocks at the skeletons are the only other 2 things on our list that we can do until tomorrow.
Yeah, let's throw rocks at skeletons. What could possibly go wrong?
What's that setup like?
When you start tossing rocks in.
OS, or are they parallel to us?
Say again, Rex.
Which party member is going to be in that hallway outside the cell when you throw rocks at the skeleton?
Yuri will.
Yuri's going to throw the rocks,
Yep.
Okay, gotcha.
but I think we're all going to be there.
So Yuri's going to toss, but everyone's going to be there. Okay, as the rocks pass through the bars, there's a shimmering effect like you're looking at stones landing in a pond.
Where's
the entire shimmers?
It's like ripples on a pond.
Like ripples on a pond as it passes through the air. And I need everyone to roll a d20.
Some sort of illusion.
If you're lucky.
Don't think we're that lucky.
Hey, Rogue 8, James 10, Q 12, Adam 12. Well, none of you are good enough. All of you take 5 points of subdual damage as you get a splitting headache. You feel just a few second murderous rage, like you need to kill everyone around you with your bare hands and drink their blood. Then it fades.
Ooh, how is subdual damage checked separately, or
Well, the way it works is in about a turn, that damage goes away.
Okay. Typical orc feels, yeah. Guffaway's like, yep, I've been here. That's beautiful.
So, yeah, that was not pleasant for anybody in the area at all. Your henchmen, one of them vomits, and it's just nobody enjoyed that. As a matter of fact, who would that be? Yeah, Millicent vomited.
Well, I guess we don't want to mess with that again.
Yuri just kind of turns around and says, "That was unpleasant." Who walks out?
Yeah, as far as you can tell, based on what you saw, it didn't seem to be an illusion. It's like you triggered some sort of trap or curse.
Okay, so that I think that probably explains the magic aura that Calvin saw back there with his detect magic spell.
Almost perfectly, yes.
So
Where was
I don't
the
feel like we need to investigate that any further.
where was the rippling effect?
Just inside the bars. It's like a few millimeters past the bars. It's like it struck some sort of field or something that seems to fill the rest of the cell.
Interesting.
If I can ask a question, we're back in that we're back in the jailhouse with those skeletons inside the cell, right?
Correct.
Okay.
How are you capturing that?
Well, another interesting thing, you don't see that stone inside the cell anywhere when your headache's gone.
Hmm.
It must be part illusion, at least.
Yeah.
I was aiming to throw it at one of the skeletons. Did any of the skeletons move?
No, not at all.
Yeah.
Okay. Well, it could also be some sort of dimension door teleport as well.
That could be the case, yeah.
Yeah. Took the rock away.
Is like on the same physical plane, like level with us, or is it above us or below us?
It seems to be level with you. It appears to share the same space, but after seeing that shimmering, you're not really sure about your senses in this room anymore.
Mm-hmm.
All right, guys, what should I do now?
Well, I guess the big guy.
The big guy.
So to catch up, Adam and Corinne, we've got this. We went down to that room where we captured the cultist, and there were other doors off of there.
Mm-hmm.
One of them, there was what looked like a 7-foot man with a sheet over him, a red blanket or a red sheet, and blood all around him and weapons. And so, blood all around him, weapons. And I don't think there were any bones, but it looks like Yuri is going and getting some nets. We're thinking rather
mercenaries.
than just attacking him outright, we're going to try to net him down and see if he can be dealt with in a different way.
Okay.
Is there any
Okay.
indication that he's breathing?
No.
Good question. No. The last time you were there, there's no indication of any breath or motion at all.
There's an
But-
inch of
but
dust
someone-
over it.
Right, it's heavily coated in dust. The red silk sheet that's over it.
But someone did say that they felt like there was some passage of air, like there might be a hidden door in there.
Yes.
And how far from the entrance to the room is he?
About the middle of the room, so you'd say somewhere between 12 and 13 feet.
If I can cut in for a clarification question, have we left the jail yet? Because if we have not, there's something I'd like to try.
Oh, feel
Yeah.
free.
We're still close there, and Yuri's running, getting nets.
Okay.
Just a few feet away.
What I'd like to do is make use of my wisdom stone and cast an augury
Okay.
I'm going to ask whether or not stepping into the cell or entering the cell somehow bodily would be a physical, or, and if I'm asking too much, then I'm going to step with physical. But I'd also like to say, would it be a good or evil act to do so? So would it be a cause physical harm to us? Would it be good or evil? I will take the physical harm if I can only do one.
Yeah, that was my understanding as well.
Okay. Okay. Thank you.
You're welcome.
All right, I'll share that information with the rest of the party.
That's from me.
Augury is, yeah, I see it. Augury is, you can ask a yes or no, a good or a bad, a wheel or a woe, an up or a down, that sort of question. Yeah. Yeah.
She may be
Military
fearless.
wisdom. Yeah.
She may be fearless, but
Well, I'd say she's fearless, but she's
eating
not.
your guts
stupid.
is
There's a big difference.
yeah.
Yeah, it's like lawful good doesn't mean lawful stupid.
Oh yeah, I got a whole blog post on that one.
Yes, you do, and a really good one too.
Oh, thank you, thank you. It's,
I
actually,
might revisit that
it's my
frequently.
most read blog post. Somebody posted it on Reddit, and I get like 40 reads a day. Yeah. All right, crew. So you're gonna head over to the big man of the red silk sheet.
Oh, it's a red silk sheet?
It's
Yeah.
red silk.
I'm inclined
Blood
to think
red.
it must. Yeah, it was initially white.
Oh, was it white? I imagined it red.
I thought it was initially white, but it being red, that makes sense given all the other blood.
Oh yeah.
Just think about it.
Yeah.
So you head that way. You have the guy that's there. Oh, Lily's with you. Okay, Kieran. Makes sense. Makes
So-
good sense.
Did we have the opportunity to talk to our mercenaries or
Remember, these guys are just down the hall now. Now that
Okay.
you got in this area, it's no more than a 5-minute walk to go talk to the mercs.
Okay, if I've had a chance to ask this question before, because I think we moved here because of concerns about the Red Maiden,
Yes.
did we ask them what they knew about her, what mythology there is about her, since we're not from this area?
Yes. Hold on a second. I'm doing some typing.
I mean, I don't expect them to understand or to have seen any of what she's supposed to do, but just the color red. If it's blood, I got it. But if it's something else, like that sheet has turned the color red, my hackles are going to go up a little bit. Okay. Thank
That's
you.
all too vague.
Oh no. This is good. This is all good. It's good information.
Oh yes, for sure.
She was seen and heard flying around outside the mountain.
Yes, she's only ever seen in the skies and land above. She's never been seen underground, but it's said that where she goes, monsters and tears follow. She's called the Red Maiden because, according to legend, it's a beautiful woman who's clad only in a sheet of red silk.
And again, my hackles are going up because didn't that sheet over the 7-foot tall gentleman appear to be made of red silk?
Yes, it does.
Okay. Thank you again.
And this is why we're bringing the nets.
That's right. So, what's the next step? Oh, 3 spearmen and 2 bowmen. Nice. If you bring in rogues and mercenaries, you got to bring rogues and mercenaries. But if you're bringing them, use them. That's my motto.
Mhm.
All right, crew. So you got the whole party, all the hench, 3 spearmen and 2 bowmen, and a pile of nets. What's the action?
What do you think, Yuri and Lyle? Move in and try to get the nets on him.
I'm going to direct the mercenaries to help me hammer the nets into place with some of the
Lyle
spikes.
will join in that effort.
You're going to basically toss the nets over it and try to hammer them down?
Yeah.
All right. The instant one of the nets goes over it, the sheet collapses to the ground flat.
Just like the illusionist table vanishing out from under it.
Almost. The silk sheet's still there, but now it's just laying flat on the ground, covered in dust and netting.
When the sheet went down, did it look like it was dusting stuff out from under it, like the air under it brought
It
up
seemed to
dust?
be just enough air whiffing out through it to. It looks like it was empty, except for air. Yeah.
Yuri would pick up the sheet.
Oh, it's a lovely, high quality silk sheet. You figure this is 1,000 gold pieces of pure red silk. It's about
But
10 by 10. It's beautiful.
before we start really handling this, again, I'm going to use the wisdom stone and use a detect evil.
There is no evil anywhere in the room.
Okay, thank you.
Sure. Thank you. Good spell. This will be running for a while.
Okay. So if we're going to be running for a while, if there's any other locations where we are concerned, we might find some.
I'm going to go ahead and do this for you. I assume that somebody would mention it. The cell with the skeletons in it,
Yeah,
is showing an evil intensely enough that you can't look at it directly with the spell running.
my. Okay. I'll convey that to the rest of the party as well.
So the bed chamber next to this one, there was a brass brazier in there. I wonder if we want to take a look at that with it as well.
The brass.
Lyle would like to look around this room for this.
Oh, the 30 by 30 room with the red silk sheet in it?
Yeah.
Was that a brazier?
Brazier.
Yeah, brazier. Yeah.
Brazier. The brazier is not evil, but it is magical of some sort. All right. In this 30 by 30 room, along the south wall, facing south, at the westernmost edge, is a secret door.
South edge, center or right?
Western
South
edge.
edge, west end of the room.
Left hand? Okay.
Yep.
I need to grab my maps.
Take your time. I gotta flip the right page in my notes too.
Lovely.
Awesome. Something for us to look for today, because we'll be able to do the fire altar tomorrow.
It's a map I've yet to draw.
Yeah.
I don't know what I'm doing with that page yet anymore. That's half a map.
Boom. Got it. Okay.
Okay, Lyle is happy to lead the way through this door. I don't know if.
You know the door?
Yep.
You open the door, and it's very strange. It pivots, it sort of slides up into the wall above you. And inside is a 10 by 10 room. And on the opposite wall are stones. There's a stone in the top that is yellow. It's sort of like a triangle with a stone at the top and the bottom left and bottom right. The stone at the top is yellow. The stone at the bottom left is blue. And the stone at the bottom right is green.
And no sense of evil on that when Calvin gets here.
None at all.
What does Quint make of it?
Not really sure. Never seen anything like it before.
did say that the yellow was the one on top?
Correct.
Strange.
What was the dimensions of this secret area?
10 by 10.
Okay. Lining up north, south, east, west.
Yes. Yes, it is.
Okay.
Hmm.
Um, and they're just stones. They're not glowing at all. Do they look like precious stones, or are they like painted?
They look like very cheap paste stones, like costume jewelry almost.
Okay. Lyle will touch the yellow one.
Who else is in the 10 by 10 room with them?
I assume Quint, because he was looking at it, and Allington is there with him.
Sure. So Lyle, Quentin, Allington, there's a flash of light and they're gone. Ah, sure.
Too late.
Mm-hmm. Go ahead and let you know, the guys that vanished are up in the sky dock on top of the mountain. They're not in any
All right.
danger. They're just getting wet from the rain.
Hope you guys are ready to get that entrance open.
It doesn't take
What-
very long for them to get down.
Yeah, what part of the sky dock are we in?
3 minutes of freaking out.
What part are we in?
You're up by the sky dock by the binocular system.
Right by the binoculars?
Right by the binoculars.
Okay. How long do we think it would take to run down?
Oh, with the rain, it's going to take you a little longer, but you'll be back with the mercenaries in 30 minutes max. Like I said, I'm going to short circuit 30 minutes.
Down through the secret passage, though, would be quicker, wouldn't it?
Oh, you're right. The secret passage only take you about 15 minutes. You're right.
Okay. So I would ask Allington to try to shelter inside that door of the secret passage
Sure.
in case someone else comes through the teleportation while we run down, and then in
Right.
15 minutes follow us down.
Like I said, I'm doing GM Fiat to save you some time and running around.
Okay.
Not too much longer. Your pal comes running and dripping wet. It's a teleporter.
You find Yuri running the other way, kind of somewhere.
Yeah.
Doesn't quite nowhere.
All right. Well, teleporters are dangerous.
Especially when you don't know where they're going.
Yeah, but we could try blue and green.
What are you trying next?
Let's try and get the majority of the party through this time, eh? Also, I'm
Yeah.
You can very carefully get everybody with the mercenaries into the room.
All right. Well, I like Guffaway's suggestion of green.
Green. You all appear at the mouth of the entrance cave, just inside out of the rain.
Good way to get behind the enemy.
Hmm.
True. Imagine if somebody's besieging the doors and suddenly a party appears behind them. That'd be pretty wicked.
Yeah.
Mhm.
All right. We up for trying the blue?
Was there
Blue.
much?
Whole party in there again?
Yep.
All right. This one's different. You don't appear in the same shapes that you were in. Like if you're in a square, you appear in a square. You're evenly distributed around the hole that goes down into the mountain off the east side of the mountain. You're looking down into that pit,
We're looking down into the deep.
into the deep. That's right.
But interesting that we're positioned equidistantly around the hole.
Yes. Equally equidistant all the way around it.
That's a weird.
Are we on stable footing?
You are, thank goodness. Hate to slip in the deep from here. It's 800 feet down.
Didn't bring my book.
I also don't want to go splat when we reach the bottom.
Calvin is out there. He's
Even with the rain, you can see very far down in the deep. And you can see the bridges. There's a couple bridges that cross it very far below. And what's interesting is there's someone walking across the lower bridge. Hard to make out this distance. Human size are larger, but they're not even looking up. But you see somebody go from east to west across a bridge, 1,000 feet deep.
Okay. About how far apart are we from each other? What's the diameter of the...
We're also
Yeah,
getting
guys-
soaking wet, right?
Well, you're wet now, yeah. It's 20 to 25 feet apart from each other because the deep is very, very far across.
Okay. I'm going to throw a rope to the nearest person
Oh, sure.
so that not all of us fall down, hopefully.
All right.
Ivor wouldn't get out his rope, or Yuri would go to his rope as well.
Right. And about to say, and about that time, Moro is going to drive a spike and get a rope out. And before you know it, you guys are up and out of that ant lion pit that leads into the deep.
Would it be quicker for us to get up to the top and take the secret door down, or just to hike down?
Oh, it's an even split. It's going to be the way we're getting to the top and going down is going to get you out of the rain faster.
Let's go up. I want to check out that door we found, or not door, or whatever it is, with the pearls. Yeah.
The pearl door. Yeah, that makes sense.
Okay. So where are you heading to now?
Top of the
So
mountain.
up to the sky dock, into the secret door, down to the pearl door level.
The pearl door. Yes. Okay. So you go to the pearl door.
Yep.
All right. You're at the pearl door and wet. What are you guys going to do there? 7.
Quint has already seen it, but this is Calvin's first time here.
That's
And
true.
I think it's also the first time we've had religious brothers with us when we get here.
Mm-hmm.
The religious brothers actually recognize pearls. They say those are the pearls that are used for a greater ward. It appears that this door has been enchanted to keep out all demons, devils, and evil elementals.
Interesting.
But it's also keeping us out.
Usually doors like this have a command word that opens them, or you have to use a knock spell.
Interesting.
The pearls, are they set in any sort of pattern? Do we see it as a sigil or symbol of any kind?
No, they're very almost geometrically arranged in an arch around the edges of the door. Oh, knocking on the door, that's pretty good. No, there's no answer when you rap on the door.
Is my detect evil spell still running?
Unfortunately, no, it's been too long.
Understood. Thank you.
Spiked around a bit.
Yes, in monasteries, it's often where they keep religious artifacts and very valuable books. They're protected in such a way that you can't get to them if you're evil, unless you got great power.
Okay.
They estimate this is either somebody's very private quarters for a high-level cleric, or it's a depository for religious writings.
Or the healing power of and.
Yes. Why not both? Right.
I'd like to make a quick sketch of this. So we've got at least something that we can study later. We might come on or have a revelation as to what this might be.
Yeah, let me see if I get a picture to you. It's not going to be very good because I'm a terrible artist. It's a horrible, horrible defect. I can barely draw my name properly.
I'm using a ruler all the time.
I believe you.
I don't have a ruler. I lost my favorite knife. Well, I have a new one, which I suppose counts as a straight edge. It's just big.
Messed up. Yeah, here's the Dungeon Master's terrible sketch coming your way. It's just a square door, and there's an arch of pearls across it.
Interesting. Okay.
Well, back on down to the mountain.
Or down through into the dining hall. Right?
Through into the area there. What you gonna do now?
I'm first gonna yell out for one of my mercenaries to come and open the netting I threw over it.
Sure, they can do that for you. Oh, by the way, while you guys are goofing around and doing other stuff, Norb, who is a very curious person, has found that red silk sheet you found in that room. Anytime you sort of whip it out like you're putting it on a bed or just fluffing it out, it drapes into the shape of a giant man sitting in a chair, no matter where it is.
Covered in dust too?
Not now, no.
Sure, we can use that somehow.
Really? Does it have any weight to it if you just kind of poke it when it's in that form?
It was in that form. If you put more than about the amount of pressure you use to tap somebody, catch their attention, it just collapses to the floor empty.
Okay.
But it does resist the wind.
Interesting. Resists the wind. So we could set it up in a room or a corridor that has a strong cross breeze and it would still remain standing in that shape.
Absolutely. But as soon as a living creature touches it, it would collapse. That's correct.
Did Norb happen to notice if it resisted the rain?
He did say when he was out there, it did resist the rain as well.
And that's heavy rain.
Snow and even dust or sand, yeah.
Interesting. Okay, well. Gary's just about done for the day, I think. Soaking wet is enough for him.
Yeah, I think we could take it easy.
Between the two captives you saved and your mercenaries, there's going to always be hot tea and soup in that kitchen from now on.
And the food that was in that room with the barrels is quality food that we'd be okay eating. We could eat that instead of our iron rations.
It looks like it was looted from caravans and farms, yes.
Okay. So I suggest that we eat that over our iron rations for the time being.
Yeah, whatever rots first.
All right, crew, anything else?
So it sounded like we were taking a break for the day.
Okay.
And then tomorrow we'll probably try to go do the fire altar. If Calvin is willing to.
So you guys will be getting taking a break, getting spells back, and heading for the magma altar tomorrow.
Yeah, more than willing to help investigate that. With my computer problems there at the beginning, I missed part of what decision I'm making here. Is this in regard to the cultist?
The Pilgrim Hall, there's the two small altars, one ice and one magma. And initially, they voted to have you cast Bless and Prayer, which seemed to turn it off. So now you have to do the magma altar too.
Okay, understood. Initially, when I came into the Discord, you guys are talking, I think, about the cultist.
Yeah, we were.
Yeah, he's quite insane in the way of being exposed to things beyond the walls of reality. So you really can't get any more information out of him.
Okay.
Or convert him.
Or convert him. Correct.
Understood. So
He is, as my grandmother used to say, touched.
And without something along the lines of a heal spell, there's no getting him straightened about.
Perhaps the bishop of a cult with an exorcism might be able to save him. Yes.
So the question is he going to be a threat to us in the interim before we go back?
He's tried to break loose and uses innate spell powers to harm the mercenaries every day since you captured them.
Oh,
Yeah.
okay.
Yuri still is kind of wants just to be rid of him.
Sure.
I think I'm going to make the decision that for the good of the mercenaries and the other former captives who were there, we are going to move to execution.
Okay. You do so in a humane manner, of course. And the next day, you get spells back.
Okay.
You know the decision was not, at least was not wrong. If it wasn't right, it wasn't wrong.
Right.
Yep. So the cultist is gone. Okay.
I will edit that out of my notes.
The two captives are very grateful. They said that he terrified them greatly and was the scariest thing they ever encountered, including the bugbears.
Interesting. And I'm assuming that I've obviously seen some of this, but the activities that he was engaged in, anything that along the lines of, I guess anything Burton and I have read about, encountered before, or is this completely unique to us?
He was a magma cultist with all that entails. They're, in some ways, the most feared of all the cultists because they like to burn people alive as sacrifices.
Okay.
They're at least the most hated.
Right.
Oh, the captives?
This is a player question, not a you question.
Oh, sure.
There's a arrow in the sheet here.
Yeah, I don't think that they got taken into account when we
They haven't been taken into
Gathered
account for a
them.
long time. I've just
when we
noticed.
gathered the
So.
resources all together. But it's only been a few days.
They
Who-
count as cooks, so they're extending your rations by 10%, which is more than enough that they don't carry quote unquote any weight on your supplies.
Yeah, I just want someone to kind of say they're gonna keep track of them, quote unquote. Not that they're
Oh.
really gonna be much of a burden.
Oh, as far as keeping an eye on them or protecting them, both either Burton or Wenley were the designated party
Yeah.
members. Whoever's
Yeah.
Okay, they're
whoever's-
going on your sheet then, Adam.
Okay, got it.
Or,
I had said that I was going to feed them, but we gathered all our food together, right?
That's what I was told, yes.
Yep. Thank you.
Yeah, sure. I was going through my notes. It looks like it's all squared away. Oh, Lily, of course, yes. Absolutely. All right. All right, so it's the next day. Everyone has spells back. The cultist is no longer a threat. The goblin is actually willing to give you his parole, whatever that's worth, on good behavior in return for only having his feet staked.
That means we're driving a rod through his foot or something, right?
It means that you've got to basically his legs tied together and he has no weapons. That way he can't run or charge anybody. Yeah.
Okay.
Roughly equivalent to me with my arthritis, I suppose. Yes.
Okay.
And besides, he's going to be surrounded by the mercenaries at all times unless something weird goes on anyway. But it's up to you.
Yeah, fair enough. Okay, the numbers have been updated.
Thank you.
I'm all
Yeah.
for it. I'm all for it for the magma altar.
All right.
Let's go.
You guys head back to the Pilgrim Hall, which is long. And ahead of you, you can see again that glow. But what strikes you as odd is you see the white glow from the ice altar. And as you get closer, you see the ice altar is quote unquote back on. It's got the cold blasting out again. It seems to be completely unaffected and still is creating that bank of fog in the middle of the hall as the heat from the magma and the cold from the ice meets. And just so you know, my wife has got a smirk on her face. As she comes by bringing me a treat here.
So, ask a question of the players. When you quote unquote turned off the ice altar that last time, was there any noticeable effect in the hallway that was comparable from the side of the magma altar? In other words, when the ice altar went down, did it get uncontrollably hot, or is it just that the fog went away?
It got super hot.
Yeah.
Yeah. Whatever balance it was creating just disappeared.
Right.
You have my ring of fire resistance. Have at it.
No, I've got one myself. So
Oh, you do?
no, yeah. Use the incorrect spells.
Yep.
So which spells did I use last time then?
Blessed prayer. As a matter of fact, let me do a quick check here. Yes, Lily wants to borrow your ring and try a spell called Consecration.
Yeah.
I will loan her the ring, and if she has no objection, I will accompany her to make sure that nothing
Sure.
surprises her while she's performing the ritual.
Well, you guys are awesome. She casts Consecration, which takes 20 minutes, and the magma altar doesn't just quote unquote turn off. The stone of the altar cracks and it breaks into pieces as it was struck with a mighty hammer.
Excellent.
And the great thing for you guys is, let's see here, Lily, Burton can do the same on the ice altar. Consecration is an important spell to religious brothers. Ooh.
I've got what is it? Protect from cold or
Well, that's okay. It's not going to be long enough for them to get hurt. So
okay.
Burton is able to smack, also cast the same thing on the other one. And that altar again not just turns off, but it shatters as if hit with a great blow.
Good.
By the way, consecrate is a spell that's unique to religious brothers and sisters.
Mm-hmm.
Makes it even all the more important.
Absolutely. Just as a side note, inside the Seaward, the campaign, crossbow bolts that have bless on them don't hurt Rakshasa.
Yep.
Crossbow bolts with consecrate on them hurt Rakshasa. Yeah.
Interesting.
Fun. Of course, we don't know the Red Maiden is a Rakshasa yet, so.
Let's hope you never meet one.
I was trying to figure out when we were talking about Rakshasa.
Well, I mentioned Rakshasa because the odds of you meeting one here are about 0. All right, so these 2 altars are down. You guys want to head on east towards the Pilgrim rally point and the Pilgrim doors?
Yeah, I think so.
Yeah,
Yes.
All right. That's good. We'll head that way. It's about another 20 minutes, and ahead of you see that ruddy glow. Again, the ceiling, which is here, is 60 feet high. It looks as if it's a forest fire reflecting off clouds. So there's this weird, inconstant, shifting, ruddy light. To your left, through a wall of pillars, is a area that's carved to look like it's underwater. And you get the half basin full of water that's thrashing as if it was the ocean at storm. And on the right, through a wall of pillars, is a massive room. On the far wall is a fireplace, 20 feet wide, 30 feet high, full of a constant flame. And the corridor continues. And further east on the corridor, you see the glowing white, golden light coming from those enchanted timbers.
The light on the ceiling, and it's probably been asked since I wasn't here at the last session, but does it look to be coming from the large fireplace, or is it unknown what is creating that light effect in the ceiling?
It seems to be coming from the ceiling itself, as if it was, again, reflecting a firelight. You're not sure where it comes from. Good
Interesting.
question. Well, it's 9:28. I say we take 5 minutes for a bathroom break and a quick walk around, and we'll be right back. Anyone disagree?
Fair
No
enough.
disagreement.
Let's take 5. We'll be back here at 9:35 or sooner. Thanks, everybody. Well, it's been an interesting session so far.
Your bloodlust will be sated at some point. Same thing I told my my other GM after one of our sessions was like, oh yes, he threw these horrifying undead creatures at us that consistently refuse to die. They don't.
Well, I did a Blackstone session for the crew not too long ago, and they're like, okay, gargoyle golems are bad enough, but bone golems backing him up? Yeah, we're not playing with you anymore.
Yeah. When we ran across them, they were just brutal. Oop. I have shut my screen off again.
Sure.
Oops.
Yeah, always important not to throw too much at a party any
There we
given
go.
time.
Yeah, you guys are actually doing it well. You're taking your time, spacing things out. You're falling back. It's very good.
Oh, I was sure Red Sheet guy was going to be a serious conflict.
Honestly, though, I wouldn't have minded if the bard had died.
Oh yeah, one of those. Sure. I actually played some Pathfinder during the week with my sons. Son number 4 is running a Pathfinder game, playing a straight rogue. Tons of fun, but man, that game can be lethal if you're not paying attention.
Yep. There's so much stacking going on that one slip and you're done.
Yeah, you're exactly right. All right, it's 9:35. Any objections to starting?
None here.
Mm-mm.
Okay. Excellent. So you guys are near the pilgrim doors, as they're called, between the 2 pilgrim altars. Water to your left, fire to your right, and ahead of you, down the hall, the golden timbers of good that protect the pilgrim doors. Where you guys going to go?
Well, I think that through the doors is the only plan I have to suggest.
Okay. Now again, the timbers are set up in such a way that to block this door, but it's going to be super simple for just 2 people to remove them and open those doors.
I'm going to, prior to us doing anything with the timbers, I'm going to cast a find traps.
Got it.
Have that running initially.
It's weird. You do detect a trap, but it seems that no one in the party can be affected by it.
Interesting. Any direction?
The timbers themselves, they seem to be enchanted in such a way that evil creatures would be harmed just touching them.
Understood. Okay. I'll communicate that information to the rest of the party as well.
Okay, thank you. Now, the doors here resemble the doors from the cave. They're each 10 feet wide and 16 feet tall. So the total entrance is about 20 feet wide and 16 feet tall. They're clad in bronze, but they're completely unadorned, just smooth bronze, each of them. And you have to grab them and pull in towards the hallway.
Right, when you guys are.
Okay.
I'd like to make an observation. It doesn't have to stop us from doing anything. As far as the make and manufacture, is this something that is likely that technology that we're aware of, the craftsmanship that we're aware of, could have manufactured?
That's a good question. This is going to be the very, very top edge of what a dwarf, elf, or human could do.
Okay.
Perfectly balanced, perfectly smooth, perfectly symmetrical. It could be done, but they would be very valuable.
Right. Okay, thank you very much.
Sure. All right, I'm going to assume you open the doors. Beyond is a room. Now you're facing east. North and south room is 40 feet. The door's in the center of the west wall. East to west is only 20 feet. At the very north edge and the very south edge are staircases going down into the mountain.
Anything in the far eastern wall? Do we see any adornments in the room at all other than the staircases?
Not at all.
Room height? And is it a flat square room or is it an arched room?
It's an arched room, and it arches up oddly to 60 feet.
Hmm.
The lights barely reach the top.
Thank you.
You're more than welcome.
Ah, that's not the way I drew them.
I knew that the description was a little goofy, so that's why I threw that picture in. By the way, I actually have two maps. I have one map that I take pictures or show players, and I have one map that I use. And that's why sometimes the picture and my descriptions are not quite 100% the same. That's it. That's correct. I have two maps for every level.
Besides, that adds to the character.
Okay. So that's
Well, I
the.
got
Okay. I can write that down.
So you guys, what do you guys do? North, south, east, west, what?
Yeah, north stairs. We'll take them.
Okay. North stairs. Flip through my levels here. Okay, the stairs go down and down and down and down. They must go down at least 60 feet, if not more. And east to west, the same, at least 60 feet. And they come out into a space that is very similar to the space you left, 40 feet north-south, 20 feet east-west. But the difference is, on the eastern wall, matching it, is a 20-foot wide corridor that arches up to 40 feet, that continues east, and just vanishes in the darkness. Although at the edge of that darkness, there's a reflection as if there's more bronze doors that way.
Do we see the bottom of the stairs in the south of this room?
Yes, there's exactly. Yeah, good question. Just 20 feet to your south is the other stairs. It's obviously both come to this sort of landing area.
Is that spiraling down there in that image?
No, straight stairs like you'd find in your house.
Okay. And what was the room look like when you come out?
Excuse me?
What does the room look like when we come out?
Sure. North to south, it's 40 feet. East-west, it's 20 feet. In the middle of the eastern wall is a 20-foot wide north-south and 40-foot high corridor going east. And at the very, very edge of your light to the east, there may be a glow of bronze or gold, but it's hard to say at this distance.
Where does the stairway come out in that 20 by 40 room?
At the very north and very south edges of the room.
Okay. There's both stairways there?
Excuse me?
Yes.
They're both
Yes.
stairways there?
Both stairways are there.
Absolutely. And they both end in this room.
All right, continue east.
All right, you continue east. Who's in the very back of the party? I believe that is
It should be Calvin and Burton and Wenley.
and Burton and Lindley. Yeah. Guys, Calvin, Burton, and Lindley, give me a D6 each, please. Excuse me. No, just Calvin. Give me a D6. Okay. You guys hear a clanking sound. You spin around, and behind you is some sort of skeletal figure in plate and chain armor. He's got a massive two-handed axe in his hand, and he's got a murderous glint in his eye. Everyone, please roll a D6 for initiative. All right. Well, oddly enough, Adam, you get to go first.
Okay. Casting.
What spell?
Spell magic.
Okay. I assume that your henchmen are giving you some cover.
A little bit. Typically, they are covering flank.
So So I wanted to know. All right, so Bert, remember covering you. The next person is going to be Kieran. Kieran, what are you doing?
I guess that's Lily, right?
Yes, correct.
Oh, you rolled for you and your henchman? I think we've all been rolling.
Just to keep things simple, your henchman the
Oh,
same
okay.
as yourself. Yes.
So no, I'll just be at 5 then.
Good. Okay, that's fair. All right, so 1 and 2. Anyone else on 2, 3?
I'm on 2.
What are you doing?
So can I get back there and interpose myself between him and Calvin?
That shouldn't be too difficult. No.
All right. And will I have time to attack?
Yes.
Okay, I think that's right. Uh, 13.
And what level are you in? Just double checking. 13. Oh, there you are.
Level 4 ranger. Level 4 player.
That's it. I guess the stuff right here. I feel like a dork for asking you. Sorry.
And Allington will sling a stone as well. With a
You unfortunately missed with a 13. Allison, give me your roll to hit.
Yeah, he missed as well with a 6.
All right. 3, 4,
That'd be me.
go.
I'm going to close with mace. That will miss. Norb would follow as well with a sword.
Sure. Go.
14.
14 from Norb. See, Norb, where are you, buddy? Fourth level man.
And we'll try and stay on either side, so we're not directly blocking line of fire for the mages.
Oh, that's fair. Let's see. Norb tied it. Good job, Norb. Go ahead and do your damage.
Okay. That's a d6.
Yes.
Okay. 3 damage.
All right. So take some damage. Okay. Anybody else on 4? 5.
I'm going to hit it with a flame flash.
Okay, go ahead and cast that. That shouldn't take too long at all. Let me get a saving throw in here. Okay, the flash goes off. It seems disoriented, so it has a minus on this attack. And who was it that interposed themselves between Calvin and the creature?
Lyle.
Wow. All right, there's your armor class. There's attacks. Woo, 19. It does hit.
So with my, I believe I have an AC of 1 with my shield.
Yeah, you take 12 points of damage, please.
Okay.
Six. Anybody else? All right. Millicent will step forward and she's going to heal you for 5 points for the damage you just took.
Yay.
And that's why you have a round. It's telling us a new round. Everyone, please roll initiative again. D6.
Did the dispel magic?
Oh, the dispel magic. Give me a percentage dice, please. So sorry, I almost forgot that.
No problem.
That's why you got to remind the DM. I do not mind being reminded of stuff I can forget because I've got bad memories. 33. That's actually a serious roll. Hold on.
What are we rolling for?
Dispel magic against the creature.
Ah,
Okay.
does that work on undead?
No, but the magical axe is turned off for an hour.
Hey, fair enough.
Very well done. Okay, segment 1. Anyone?
Adam hasn't rolled yet. All right.
Oh, there you go. Okay, thank you, Adam. 1, 2,
2, I will attack with a hammer.
go.
Nope, not working. Even with a +3.
All right. 3.
That'll be here. So attacking with the Spetum, and that's a 23.
That's easily a hit. That's 4 flavors a hit.
And this will be the D6 for Quint.
Okay.
And this will be the attack roll for Allington with his sling. 5 does not hit.
That's okay. The attack roll, the damage from the enchanted weapon is enough to destroy the skeleton.
Oh, okay.
Very, very good.
Does it just collapse, or
It does
What
collapse. It appears to have been just a tough skeleton clad in armor with a magical axe. But at about this time, Quint, who rolled a 6, pushes Selfwind out of the way as green slime drops to the ceiling and almost hits him. Her.
oh my.
There's a puddle of green slime on the floor, and looking up, you can see there's a very thin crevice along the ceiling, and green slime is sucking itself back up into the crevice.
Okay, eyes to the ceilings, folks. At least a couple of us should be watching.
The crevice seems to extend from the western wall to about the opening to that tunnel to the east. Now, the odd thing for you is that green slime that fell to the floor and missed seeps into a crack in the floor very rapidly and vanishes as well.
Does it seem to move under its own volition?
Yes, green slime it's like slime mold. It can move slowly, and it can both move towards movement and life and attack it, and move away from danger and light.
Interesting. Okay. Does it? Okay. And again, if I've had no experience with it, got it. But is it moving in a manner that is faster, slower than I would be knowledgeable of?
It looks just like bog standard vicious green slime.
Understood. Thank you.
Yeah, that skeleton seemed to appear out of nowhere behind the party after you passed by.
Yuri would do a quick sweep of the walls, see if there's any secret passageways or something. But
Oh, matching 2s. Yes, there are 2 secret doors back there.
good God, Yuri is lucky.
I'm gonna have to start hitting Yuri with some sort of spell. I don't. Has Yuri ever missed a secret door check? That's creepy.
I think he has a couple, but
All right,
it's been like one or two.
On the northern wall, 10 feet away from the landing, there's a secret door going north. On the southern wall, 10 feet east of the southern stair, is a secret door going south. Holy moly. I'm going to tell you right now, if Yuri doesn't get a raise, there's a problem.
Wait, Yuri's the main PC, but
I didn't say that's not true, man.
Bonus shares.
let me find my phone. I want to just check I'm
That is the
getting this.
longest PC on secret doors I've ever seen in 40 years.
Shit, where did I put my phone?
And the thing is, I'm rolling for Yuri most of the time. Well, half the time. That's messed up.
None of your
First
parties
cho-
ever.
First choice of magic item next go around.
Okay, find my
right.
phone. I'll get you a picture in just a minute here. What are the thicknesses of walls in this area?
It appears, it's hard to say, but they seem very sturdy, like you saw back in the guard area.
Okay, 10 foot then.
You'd assume.
Okay.
Anyone opposed to trying to go through the secret door to the north?
Not at all.
No.
All right. Who opens it?
Lyle. I believe
Lyle,
that we have to protect
there's a little about 5 by 5. Yeah, that's about right. The secret door is just by the stairs. I mean, it's inverted for me, but yeah.
I don't know why it does that.
That's fine by me. Yeah, that's right. There's a little 5 by 5 room, and you can actually see the footprints in the dust where this creature was standing. And there's a tiny peephole where it was watching, waiting for somebody to come by. Great time to get them.
Okay.
What were the dimensions behind that door again?
5 by 5.
5 by 5? Oh, it's just a tiny little space there then.
Recommend check for secret doors within that space as well.
You got it.
Yeah.
You don't detect anything, no.
Thank you.
Thank you.
Yuri
I
checks.
suspect that there's probably one behind still a skeleton behind the south door, if we can be prepared for that as I open it.
All right, who opens it?
Lyle will open it.
You open it, and inside is a 5 by 5 area, and crumpled up on the ground is a destroyed skeleton in armor with a shattered two-handed axe.
The axe from the other skeleton, is it still intact?
It's still intact, and here in about an hour, the Dispel Magic will wear off and it'll be enchanted again. This one's obviously been destroyed.
Okay. Yeah, so we want to take that axe with us, right?
Let's, for now, just stash it back behind the door with the skeleton.
Oh, sure.
We'll just drag the skeleton over, armor and all. Just shove him back in there.
All right, that's easy to do.
We can easily come back for him.
Okay, where to now, folks?
Down the hall.
All right, the hall goes about 50 feet, and then it comes to a massive T junction. It goes north and south, and the tunnels going north and south are like the one you came through. 20 feet wide, arching way up to 40 feet in the air. The outer wall, which if you're facing north is to your left, if you're facing south is to your right, is unadorned. There seems to be doors in the western wall 20 feet to 30 feet north and 20 feet to 30 feet south. Okay?
20 feet and 30 feet north?
Yes. That tunnel north and south vanishes into the darkness in both directions. The inner wall, which if you face north is to your right, if you face south is to your left, is covered in engravings. And they look, again, like the engravings you saw in the Pilgrim Hall. All sorts of cultists cavorting with demons and devils and evil, devilish-looking and elementals. But directly opposite that tunnel that goes east to west you just came from are another set of bronze doors, each 10 feet wide, arching up to, in this case, 20 feet high. So the total thing is 20 feet wide, 20 feet high. Completely unmarked, except right in the middle is a strange, weird symbol.
Directly opposite of the hall.
Directly opposite the hall. That's right.
These guys and their big bronze doors.
So you said inside wall and outside wall. So does that mean that the north and south corridors are curving toward the east?
I'm just using that as an example. As you face north, the west wall is unadorned. The east wall has got these bas reliefs. As you face south, the west wall is unadorned. The east wall has bas reliefs.
Okay. I imagine some curvature when you said inside outside.
Yeah, but the tunnel. Yeah, good question. Thank you. But the doors themselves are straight. And yes, the doors are not inset at all. They're completely flush with the wall.
Okay.
Good question. The odd thing is they obviously push inward.
Door first.
Where you guys want to go?
Let's go north, check out the first door at 20 feet.
Okay.
Absolutely.
It's 20
north, and about 20 feet further on, inset, as on the first level where there's sort of a bevel, is a door on your left. And just the edge of the light further ahead, another 30 feet on, you see another beveled door on your left on the west wall.
Again, these doors are all about of the same qualities we saw when we first started down this path.
Absolutely. Very well made, very sturdy, inset in very thick stone, seemingly impervious to the ravages of time.
So from the corner The corner then that passage, that would be 60 feet to the next door?
Yes, it would be about 60 feet to the next door.
Okay.
Very good.
All right. Lyle will lead the way through that first door on the north then.
Inside is a circular room about 30 feet in diameter. It's completely empty except for a thick coat of dust on the floor.
It's a half circle, you said, or full circle?
Perfectly circular.
30 feet?
30 feet.
Next door.
All right, as you get to the next door, the light shows that this tunnel goes just a few feet past the door and then turns due right or east.
Okay.
Can you give me those dimensions again?
Yeah, it's still 20 feet wide, 40 feet high. It goes, you're at 60 or 70 feet to this door, and just past it, so 80 feet from the junction, it turns to your east.
Okay, still 20 feet wide?
20 feet wide, yes.
Okay.
And there's still a door to your west.
All right. Door on the west. What's in there? Or Lyle will open it.
There's a tunnel that goes, well, a hall that goes straight ahead of you, and a hall that goes directly to your right. The hall to your right has a T about 20 feet away. The hall in front of you goes about 40 feet, 50 feet, and turns right.
We're going out the door
Right.
that. I'm going to write
Yeah.
this out first. Continue.
And every 10 feet on the left wall and right wall of the hall in front of you is a simple door flush with the hallway. It seems to be made of ironwood and latched. So there's 5 doors on the west wall, 3 doors on the east wall, and at the end of the hall, at least 1 door before it turns to the right.
Ooh.
Do I have that right, Rick, there?
Waiting for it to load.
Okay. So it's 40 feet out. How many feet going north?
You'd say 30 before it turns to the left and then turns to the right. Maybe 40. It's hard to say. It's a little dark and dingy in here.
Okay.
So the
Mapping.
ironwood doors are definitely not same caliber as the bronze doors. Do they look to be a newer or older addition to this area?
It looks like they're old. They're not nearly as... They're not oak that's iron bound, but it appears they're made of ironwood. And rather than being inset, they're actually flush with the wall.
I would just as soon not do this maze of doors until later, if no one objects.
Mm-hmm.
No objection.
Let's check
Okay.
the southern doors, but I suspect it's going to be much the same.
Sure.
Back to
So you
the
head
south.
south. After about 20 feet, 30 feet, there's a door on the west. And past another 20, 30 feet is another door on the west. Past that, your light just shows the tunnel again turns east, but unlike to the north, at the very southern terminus of this hallway is a door.
Just a note too, as we're passing those doors, Calvin's going to indicate to Burton and Wenley to keep more of an eye towards our rear to warn us if something starts coming out of those.
Sure.
Yeah. Lyle's going to open that first door on the south.
Okay. There's a circular 30-foot diameter room. Empty
Yay.
except for dust.
We love symmetry. All right. The south door.
Before you get there, you guys all hear a strange rushing sound, and a breeze blows past you that smells faintly of sulfur, and then it's gone.
Uh-oh.
So the next door, who opens it?
Oh, well, I was going to open it, but that breeze doesn't make me happy.
Nobody's ever happy about the breeze.
I'm going to go look back in that circular room again.
Oh, you don't see anything there.
All right.
All right.
South door, yep. Or the second door to the south.
Hey, this opens up into a large room that is very faintly lit from above. There seems to be sort of a diffuse glow coming from no determinate place in the ceiling. The room is very large, but it's hard to tell how big because there are several large bookshelves running east to west. From where you're standing, the room is at least 60 feet east to west and 40 feet north to south. But with the bookcases in it, it's really hard to tell its total dimensions.
Okay. Is Calvin's detect trap still out? Or find traps?
That's been gone for a while, I'm sure.
It's been on for some time unless he wants to recast it today.
I'll cast it. So I'll cast find traps, and then Lyle will cast find traps and move into this room and start looking through the bookshelves. Any secret doors, or what's the age of the books?
Sure. The books seem to be a very broad mix, from some of the oldest books you've ever seen to stuff that are shockingly current, some of which are no more than 20 years old. The room itself is 40 feet north to south, 60 feet east to west.
60
Rogue,
east-west?
60 east west, 40 north south. Rogue, you're always on it. In the southern wall at the westernmost extremity is a door heading south. The shelves themselves are a rag bag. You've got everything from ancient cookbooks on how to make cheesecake up to what look like cutting-edge treatises on magical theory. I think that with a good, careful search of, say, all the hedge mages, wizards, and clerics for a day or two, you could find some real gems. The doors on the south wall, at the west edge of the south wall, heading south.
What?
He means in this library room. Where is the door in the very center of the east wall, or is it in the north edge or the south edge?
It's
The
40
door's on the west edge of the south wall.
No, in the
I'm so
library though, that it
confused.
opens into.
In the library, the door is on the west edge of the south wall, facing south.
Oh, the new door. What about the door we came through?
Oh, it's in the north edge of the east wall. Correct. Thank you.
Okay, thank you.
I got a
Everything
drink.
Miscommunication.
is it right up at that corner, or
It's here. Hold on.
And before we leave the library, I've got an action I'd like to take as well.
Yeah.
Now again, this is from Fake Map number 2.
I'm fine with fake map number 2.
Leaving anytime soon. And why is it not in there? There it is. So you can see the door in the northeast corner.
Yeah.
Door in the south corner, you get those bookshelves in the middle.
Yeah, perfect.
Okay.
So what I'd like to do is, again, cast an augury spell relative to taking the action of briefly browsing some of the books, whether that would be for good or for evil.
All right.
Knowledge is power. Okay.
So I've got my find traps up. Do I see
Yep.
a trap on this south door?
You don't see any traps anywhere within your vision. No.
Okay. Do we want to stop and look at books, or do we want to move while we've got the find traps?
As we're kind of moving through, I'll pull one of the books that looks relatively innocuous,
Mm-hmm.
thumb through a couple of pages, see if I spot anything that does not match the title or anything else.
Oh, certainly. This is actually a famous book on history called The Great History. And according to the hedge mages, there's only 4 known copies. This looks to be a missing 5th copy.
Ooh, good find.
That'll sell.
Oh,
Okay.
this is worth 5,000 gold pieces to a sage. Absolutely.
I'm just hesitant to take anything out of this room right now, but knowledge is power. All right, I'll pass the book over to one of the hedge mages.
Sure. They're grateful. They'll be reading all night.
Yeah, I'll take good care of that.
Okay, guys.
We're gonna go through the south door then.
All right, so the south door is a interesting room. It's 40 feet north to south. This door is in the northwest corner. It's 30 feet east to west. On the eastern wall, there's a door on the north edge and a door on the south edge. And on the western wall, in the very center, is a fireplace. The fireplace is currently cold and unused. And the room has several tables in it, and you can see it's obviously a reading room from the library. There's even a couple books scattered about from ancient times.
Dimensions again?
30 feet east-west, 40 feet north-south.
30 feet.
30 feet east-west, 40 feet north-south.
Okay. There's a door there too?
Yeah, door east wall. There's a door in the north and a door in the south.
Door where? Where in the south?
North facing east and south facing east.
Okay. At the far extremes of the room?
Yes.
Yeah.
Okay.
North door. Lyle will head that way.
Oh, sure. It's basically a 20 by 20 room. There's a very thin wall. Excuse me, it's 30 by 30. 30 by 40. Duh. There's a very thin wall separated from the reading room, and this looks like storage for old books, scrolls, etc. It's very unkempt. And directly opposite you in the northeast corner is just a big pile of vellum and parchment and scroll cases.
In the northeast corner.
Correct.
Can you remind me, in the large hall, there was a door on the south end, at the very end of the south hall?
Yeah, as a matter of fact, looking from here, you can see that door at the other end of this room.
Okay, that's what I was thinking
I'm-
for.
What door?
I'd like to cast a detect magic as long as we're here on the scroll cases, the parchment, and the like.
Yeah. You do detect magic coming from underneath the pile somewhere.
Okay, I will carefully start moving the scrolls, the scroll cases, and the like, trying to find what it might be.
Curia would help just shoving things out of the way with his spear.
With what? Sure.
Curia would just
Decent.
use his spear to just kind of move things without having to touch anything.
Okay. All right, Adam. Give me a D6. As you're moving stuff around, the spear moves around, you look down and you realize that there are 6 grubs burrowing into the flesh of your arms.
Oh, fun.
Including your right, you can see them digging into your flesh and heading up towards your main body.
Great.
Mm.
If anyone's got a torch, work me over quickly. Do they also respond negatively to a cure spell?
A Cure Minor will kill a D4. A Cure Light would kill them all.
I'll cast a cure light on myself then.
All right. Don't worry about initiative then. And you don't have to take damage. You use your Cure Light and kill all 6 rock grubs. Well done.
Oh, thank you, James. That is perfect.
Yeah, that looks just right. Look at that. Nailed it.
Mm-hmm.
Well, my doors don't have dimension like yours doors do, but the
Nah,
fire-
I kind of cheated on some of my math as well. But yeah, you got it.
All right, so both the doors from the reading room came into this kind of trash room.
Trash room. Yes. Now, underneath that pile that you were digging through for the rock grub, the spear uncovers maybe 30 more rock grubs, but at the very bottom is an untouched, pristine book inside a leather case. You know what I mean? It's got a wrapped bag around it that's untouched by time, age, or rock grubs.
Okay, can you hook it with the tip of the spear just to pull it up and out?
Oh, not even hard. Not even hard.
Okay.
He shoves it far away, and then how big are the grubs?
Each grub's about the size of your common garden caterpillar.
Okay, he'd flip it around to the blade, and he'd start slashing them.
Die.
Yep,
It
just
takes
like
about 2 rounds, and you killed all the ones that can't flee down into the slime. Sure. Now, the book itself is an old school leather book bag. It's a case that was very common, so that when you traveled, you wouldn't harm a book.
Okay. Let's nudge it open in case we've got some rot grubs inside for whatever reason. Let's kind of.
Sure. You open it. There's obviously rot grubs inside, and your detect magic, which is still going, shows that it's got a very strong alteration magic. Inside is a book about 18 inches high, 9 inches wide, 4 inches thick. The front and back cover appear to be ivory, and there's a leather clasp that is obviously gold, matching the gold on the hinges. And there's a small latch where you have to use your thumb to open the book.
Interesting. Okay.
time to commit to it.
Yeah, might as well. So I will.
My find trap should be on just in case.
Oh, the trap spell's not going off in a way that you understand.
Okay, I'll still go for it. I will undo the latch and open the book.
You see inside, printed in a language that somehow you can read, even though you don't speak the language, is a title.
So complicated, he has to write it out.
You instinctively understand that if you read the book, your charisma will go up a point.
Okay.
Month of uninterrupted study for that to work.
Obviously not written by Machiavelli.
Well,
I'm sorry. Actually, I'll be honest with you. My 13th birthday present for my father was a copy of The Prince by Machiavelli.
Ah.
Yeah, I was reading it about the same time.
Yeah, I love the book. It's quite good.
Yep.
So his discourses are so much better. One of the best books I've ever read was the discourses.
Actually,
All right, so,
I actually gave that to
Tome of Influence.
Okay, Tome of Influence, and I will let the party know about that, and we can make a decision as to who would best benefit from that. Because I'm assuming that's a one-shot good deal.
It is. When you finish reading it, it vanishes and hides itself somewhere else for someone else to find. That's correct.
Okay. So let's pass that off to whomever wants to take it. Just put it in the backpack. We'll worry about this later.
Quint will grab it. He's actually pretty hefty for a hedge mage. He's got some capacity left in his endurance.
Oh, good.
Plus, technically, Quint is illiterate, which is interesting. All right, guys, there's no more doors or windows out of here. Where are you guys going to go?
Back to the main hall. You said that there was a door on the south end of it.
Yeah, as a matter of fact, the door can't be too far from where this storage room is, because the door right there is on the very south wall, at the very west edge of that wall.
Oh, heck, though. I want a detour back into the library as long as I've got some detect magic running yet. I'm not sure how many shelves I could walk past, but let's see if there's anything here that we might find immediately.
Yeah,
You
it's not even
sit-
a detour. We were going through there anywhere.
just one slim book, and the spine of it says recipes.
Most interesting. I will take the book out of the shelf
Yes.
and I will open the book.
Oh, all right. Give me a 20.
I'm feeling daring today, obviously.
I'd say you're bold.
I got fine traps up.
All right, good. There's no trap, but you are able to read it. It is a treatise. Basically, it's akin to a manual of the golems. But if you read it,
Fascinating.
it will automatically give you a homunculus, regardless of your class.
Okay, since I'm very leery of something along those lines, I will tell everybody what this is and what I've determined, and once again pass the book off to someone to hold, recommending that we worry about it later.
Sure, that's probably going to be. Oh, Lily will grab it. Sure. But yes, for 1,000 gold pieces in this book, any character class, any PC or NPC can have a homunculus familiar.
Interesting.
Mm-hmm. But that's all you see that's magical.
Okay,
Perfect.
thank you.
Sure, thank you. All right, where to next?
So making our way to that door at the southwest corner of this corridor.
Too far away. Oh, this opens up into a rather large space. Your light is just able to illuminate the entire thing. It's 40 feet north to south, and it extends about 10 feet west of where the door is. And it's 120 feet east to west, so it goes 110 feet. Well, 100 feet east of the door. And all along the outer walls, except for the far eastern wall, are prison cells.
Hmm.
And on the eastern wall, at the very northern edge of the east wall, is a door. And the center of the wall is a hallway that goes 20 feet to another door on the east.
We're at the southern branch, right?
You are the southern branch. That's
the southern branch.
Okay. How far from that corner are we?
here.
It's right in the corner there. That's where the door came. It was.
Perhaps what we could do is make
It's hurting me.
Yeah, here, hold on. Let's see if I can do this again. By the way, have I mentioned that this is a ton of fun to DM for you guys?
That you have. It's a ton of fun to
Fun to
play.
play.
I like the descriptions of everything.
Yep.
We've done hardly
Yeah.
any combat too.
Learning a
Oh,
lot.
any second, fellas.
Yep.
And ladies.
That's the great thing about BX and AD&D 1. You don't have to do combat all the
Mhm.
time. Half of it is just the
I am
suspense.
so bad with you guys, but that's what it looks like. And you guys are that door in the northwest.
Okay, we're different.
Recommend that we kind of make a slow processional down the middle, watching either side, try to get a flavor for what, if anything, is in those cells.
Yeah.
Well, that's
Do we still have?
obviously empty. There's a bit of straw in one or two.
Do we still have find traps and detect magic on?
The detect magic is running. The find traps has just enough duration to show you no traps in this room.
Okay.
What's interesting is that area in the far east, that sort of blank area that you see there just before the doors, it's got a couple lovely leather club chairs and some tables. It's a beautiful seating area with a lovely carpet on the floor. It wouldn't be out of place in a nobleman's parlor, where you can sit and stare at the cells in, frankly, sumptuous luxury.
Okay, now I just kind of want to kill the person whoever installed these, but you know.
You are.
Well,
Skull Mountain.
If you've ever done security, it would be great if you could just sit down instead of standing.
Yeah, true, but these were cultists,
Now that's-
so
You know, when I was in college, I worked security, and I got the cushiest job ever. I was night guard weekends at the Land O'Lakes Research Kitchen.
Oh, nice.
wait, so you work for the butter company?
And the chefs would leave you, quote unquote, lunch for midnight. Oh my gosh. I should have them.
Reminds me of
Sorry.
when I worked nighttime janitorial and we'd get all kinds of cake from parties.
Oh, yeah. Awesome. Where you guys heading?
Nothing in the cells?
The cells are obviously empty.
Okay.
And no magic, no traps.
Nope, nothing.
The far right door,
Then one in the north, one down that hallway.
like the east, I guess.
Sure.
Yeah, the
Oh, and that
northeast.
door from the north edge is open. That's an empty storeroom. So that door in the far east, you open that one? All right.
He's
You're not
doing- Don't do it.
right there. Who opens it?
Lyle will open it.
The far room is 40 by 40. Okay? The door that you're opening is in the west wall, just south of middle. On the east wall, just north of the middle, about 20 feet from the north wall, is another door. The room itself is one of the most terrifying and depressing rooms you've ever seen. It's got Iron Maiden, manacles hanging from the ceiling. It's got a torture rack. It's got braziers scattered all over. It has a table full of torture implements. But what terrifies you the most are three things. One of the braziers is full and lit and glowing white with heat. And there's two creatures inside. One of them is about 7 feet tall. He's wearing a hood that covers his face. His eyes are completely blocked. He's obviously undead. He's got a massive 7-foot-long two-headed axe. The other one is wearing sort of a domino mask that leaves his eyes open, and his eyes are dead black. He's incredibly muscular, huge, covered in scars, and as he sees you, he snatches up a massive torture iron and branding iron from the brazier and bellows a challenge. Initiative.
Are these skeletons we're facing here?
More like zombies or even whites.
Okay. What was the width of this room as well?
Say that again.
What's the dimensions of the torture room?
40 by 40.
40 by 40? Okay.
Lyle came through the door first.
All right.
And so Allington and Quint would be flanking him.
All right. All right. Initiative 1. All right. The one with the axe rushes forward at tremendous speed. And which PC was in the doorway again?
Lyle, he has a very long septum in his hand.
Oh, very good. If you make a dex check, you can set for charge.
And I also have initiative 1.
Oh, then no,
So
you can set for charge.
I
Okay,
will also
Mark.
set. I will also set for charge if you like.
You going to set for charge?
Yeah.
Okay. Give me a to hit roll, please.
Ooh.
12. No. Okay. I'm going to let the blast go off. Everyone has a +1 to hit. Unfortunately, it's still not enough to hit. I don't think. What's your level again?
Level 4 ranger, level 4 cleric.
No, you missed, unfortunately. Okay. So the headsman dodges the spear and strikes with his massive axe. Remind me of armor class, please. I'll let you be thorough.
1.
While this is going on, Calvin is reaching for his holy symbol.
Very good. I gotta check that one up close. Oh, he tied what he needs to hit. Darn it. All right.
All right.
Sorry, I don't mean to be hanging. I just dropped one of my dice on the floor.
Oh, it's all good.
We know the pain. If it's a D4, though, it's going to be double the pain.
13 points of damage. Massive axe hit you.
All right. Also, at initiative 1, Quentin Allington with slings and, or I guess now he's up close. Allington with a mace,
Go right ahead.
and Quint with a dart.
Go. The dart hits.
That's a D4, probably.
D3.
D3.
Okay. Good hit. 2.
Kieran's also on 1.
Ah.
Yeah. So she did the bless, but she still got.
Spell went off, so she cast her spell.
Yeah, I'm trying to also figure out what I'm doing with Lily.
Sure. You get a moment.
Is there enough? While we wait, is there enough room for us to maneuver more men in place to
Because
use
people
melee?
get out front, you can have the party sort of spread out around the edges of the room. Absolutely.
Okay. I just want to know whether or not Yuri can actually hit with his spear, or we're too
Yes,
crowded.
Yuri, the spear could even strike from the second rank. That's not going to be tough.
Awesome.
Okay, Lily. Tough, I know.
Mm,
Yeah, I got to spend some more time looking at Religious Brother, or I guess.
I don't have her
Allington's
spells
cleric.
written up, so I'm just futzing around. Can she do warding or something?
His brother, hold on. What's Lily going to do? I'll help you decide. Ah,
Because I have no idea what
Lily's-
Quint can do.
Lily starts casting. 2.
Mm-hmm.
All right. The other guy, who I call the torturer with the branding iron, rushes forward and again strikes at, I believe it's Uria's up front.
Lyle.
Yuri is in the second rank.
Sorry, I lost one. Damn, same roll, just ties hitting. And that's going to be. All right. There we go. $12 points of damage. And the pain of the heat as it burns you is intense.
Okay, Lyle goes down.
Okay, Lyle's down. 3.
Pro.
4. 5. The husband gets his second attack. Let's see, who's going to look toughest in the front? Now that Lyle's down.
Allington was there with his mace.
I was going to say probably Allerton with the mace. So they're going to roll at Allerton. Okay, that's a hit.
He has a +1 shield and +1 Brigadine.
12 points of damage.
I don't have his hit points. Are you tracking him, or should I track him?
Allerton is down.
Okay.
6.
6.
Okay.
Kelvin attempts to turn.
D20.
Yuri is also going to stab one of them, whilst Norb. Good God, that's a horrible row. Norb's also going to slash.
So, Adam, that's a 15 as your attempt to turn.
That is correct.
All right. It doesn't turn them, but the the torturer does not get a second attack. There
Okay,
seems to be something preventing you from using your turn to full power.
understood.
Hmm.
Is,
All right.
Since both of them are
13 to hit.
That'd be Norb. I don't
He's
know what
attacking the executioner or the torturer.
executioner.
Executioner. Norb. There's your notes.
And Millicent would ready any spell we could use.
You know what? With the bless spell, Norb tied it.
That's
So give me a
excellent.
please.
26.
You did
Awesome.
amazing. Very well done. All right. Everyone else, take your attacks or spells. Anyone?
Okay,
I don't know what Milken
Wenley will
has.
use. Wenley will try sling.
Okay, go ahead. Millicent tries to cast a spell on Lyle. Lyle, how many points are you negative?
1.
You've got 5 hit points, and you'll be up on round 2 and can roll initiative. However, to your horror, you find out that there are 5 points of damage done to you from fire that can't be cured with spells.
Ooh, okay.
Yeah, that branding iron, the heat from it can't be cured by anything but time.
Burton is going to try to make his way to the front
Sure.
to cast a cure light if he's got one available, or a cure minor if he doesn't. Who else is down in the front?
Oh, sure. Allerton's down. Burton can cast a cure minor on Allerton. Let me roll that for you. Oh, 4 points back. Allerton's up with 2 hit points. Very good.
Okay.
You just
Unfortunately,
dispel.
James, you're still in the front row.
Okay. Yeah, Kieran, that was a tough one. Oh, Morrow, good try. It sounds like a second round. It's time for initiative again.
Do the
Don't
doors?
understand. What did she cast lately?
Oh, Lily. That's got to go back to Lily. Okay. Lily casts a spell. So now in this round, if you have a saving throw or a hit roll, it's your choice. You get a +1 on either a saving throw or a hit roll.
Question: the doors, did they open inward, or did they open outward?
The door that you came in opened out. The door on the far wall is hard to say from here, but do you think it also opens away from this room?
Okay, I'm going, if I can talk during this period of time, I would recommend we back out and close the doors. Don't let them follow us.
Talking is a free action. You can do that. Sure.
Which way are we backing out?
Same way we came in.
All the way down the cell block?
Yes.
Okay, 1.
Oh, sorry. We're rolling initiative.
Yeah, please, yes.
A lot of 2s.
Okay, now remember, your initiative is when you attack. You can move at any time. 1.
Okay.
Okay, so I guess we're moving back through the door.
Okay,
Back to the
Yeah,
door.
you retreat. Yuri and Norval hold the line.
Gotcha. 2.
We attack.
Calvin,
And
Burton, and Wemley are going to get to the doors to get ready to close them as soon as everyone's able
It's
to
the
come
first
out.
attack.
3. The last of the party backs out, and you can slam the door.
We'll slam the doors then. If there's any way to brace them, maybe the table and chairs that are sitting over there.
No, there's nothing you can use to brace him. However, as the door shuts from beyond it, you hear, ha, 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 ah, ha, ha. Weaklings will come back. And they don't pursue.
You know, does anybody have a create water spell?
I do.
Yes.
Be able to reach the brazier? Drop it on that?
Let me check the range.
Damn good idea, but I have to check the range.
Mhm.
Where's my players again?
10 feet.
Oh, yeah, you have to be on top of it, so you have to get past them to get to the brazier.
Ah, what a shame.
It's a round to cast, so it would be probably interruptible.
Get behind them next time.
It's with level.
I'm sorry.
The range doesn't increase with level.
It's
No.
10 feet.
No, a spell like that, no. By the way, I've had 3 TPKs in that room before.
Lovely.
So
I
who
could try
needs
to
healing?
disarm the torturer, or one of them.
Which you broke up a little bit there.
I could attempt to disarm with the spectrometer.
You should.
Go in.
Correct.
Okay, but there's something that is interrupting turning in there as well. So there's something going on.
Now that you've tried to turn, you can investigate it. It seems that there's some sort of aura coming in this area from your north that's making it very difficult, if not impossible, to turn undead.
Okay.
I'm also not opposed to leaving that room alone and exploring other places.
Mm-hmm.
If they're not coming out after us, yeah, we have no reason to kind of diddle around with it, I suppose.
Correct.
Well, I think this was just brought up. Who still needs healing? I have 1 cure light and 1 cure minor left.
Well, Allerton's not doing too good.
Yeah, I bet Allington has some healing, but I have 5 cure lights.
So
Okay.
Allerton will cure them. Allerton will cure herself back to full with her own spells.
Okay.
Okay.
But there's no way for Lyle to get to full hit points.
Yeah, but I'm going to do myself with 2 of these.
Yeah, 5 hit points down until you rest 5 days.
Yeah. Okay, so between those 2 cure light, I'm almost to my new maximum.
Yeah.
Yuri would take point then from this point on.
Okay. We're going to go about, well, it's 10:40. Let's give it a few more minutes, and then we can pause in media res. What are you guys heading to?
Well, here's the other consideration. We've been out here for a little while. We've used up a fair amount of spells. We're not obviously hurting for it, but would it be appropriate maybe to head back to camp?
What time is it, I suppose?
Well, you've been down here with the trip down the Pilgrim Hall and everything else. It's been 5 hours. Searching the rooms, searching the library, casting spells, etc., and the staircase and long hall. It's been a long time. By the time you get back to camp, it'll have been 6 to 7 hours minimum.
Let's take a look.
What can we see down this south hall now that we're around the corner?
Oh, now that you're around the corner, it just vanishes into the darkness, at least another 80 feet.
Let's take a look to the library, see if there's any other books of particular value, and we'll carry those back to camp.
Yeah,
Sounds
I like that.
Let's,
Very good.
in particular, the ones that were in that reading room.
The ones in the reading room actually are the least valuable, but on the shelves, you're able to find enough books that you could learn any cantrip from mages or illusionists. And you think that if you were to do 2 or 3 trips, you'd have enough books to establish a spell research library.
Let's start grabbing them.
So, yeah.
As
So
a
we
matter
can
of
make
fact,
it.
from here, you could research any spell up to 5th level just by using this library in some time.
Interesting.
Mhm.
I feel like we got off easy being able to retreat, but
People don't run away. I've never understood it. They're like, "Oh, we're going to stand and fight." Okay.
well, they don't have the front line drop in the first round, probably.
Even then, what you'll see is a lot of people just say, "Well, just let's tough it out." The DMs put something in here that we can fight, right? That tends to be.
But also, just because you can fight, it also means you might be able to die.
Exactly.
Just people just like, well, somebody's down. We've got to keep fighting. I don't know why, but they do.
I wonder
But-
if we had left that door open, whether or not they'd pursue us out of the room.
You have to find out next time you come in.
Yeah, I don't want to.
That's
Okay.
true. I mean, and we've got a party of all clerics, so it was easier to get somebody back up and run, right? Rather than thinking we have to stay and get the body.
Actually, I think one of the nastiest times I ever saw this happen was the only cleric was the first guy to drop.
Yeah.
And he got into the room and they couldn't get to his body. So they were fighting to get to him, and that's what wiped him out.
Yeah.
Yeah. So that was different here, where everybody could get people up and we could get out of there.
Okay.
Now, one of you has Kiotom's ointment.
What's that?
It's a magic item.
Burton does, I believe.
Yep.
Burton. 2 doses of that will cure those 5 hit points, but you're not going to figure that out till you're back in camp.
Okay.
Okay.
So
So you can get back to full hit points by the use of 2 charges off an item. But Kiotom's ointment is the only thing that can magically cure that burn damage.
But otherwise, it's 5 days.
Otherwise, it's a day per hit point, and every time he hits you, it's going to do something between 3 and 8 points of fire damage. Yeah.
Yeah.
It definitely worth, I think, the use of it. But keep in mind too, just for the party's knowledge, if someone is poisoned, that's also where you want to go. So we don't want to use those up too quickly.
yeah, no.
Yeah. I wonder if we let those just recover naturally and not go back to that room for a little bit.
Yeah.
Yeah.
We wanna
Might not be a bad idea. I mean, you're gonna cure 3 points just as experimentation, but you can save the other dose if you want to.
Okay.
You
So-
guys are going fast. I'm really impressed.
Okay.
Good, careful play. You're covering each other. You know when to retreat. Well done.
Thank you.
Thank you.
Adam
So-
knows when to retreat. But I'm glad he said it
And-
because
I'm old school D&D. I run first and fight
Yep.
second.
Part of
Yeah,
this
I
is
want to talk to y'all real quick. I'm thinking about having the next session, which would be the 4th session on the 7th. Just a quick heads up. No need to make a decision now. Just let me know. We get a chance. We'll talk about it more. But I want to put that bug in here before we let go. Let's see. Background, we will have some changes come up. 1 or 2 of the henchmen are actually going to level from the experience we've already gotten because you're taking so much downtime. NPCs level without formal training, unlike PCs. So they're going to move up a little bit. So 1 or 2 henchmen will level up to get some more abilities there. And the morale for the henchmen is much better now that you're underground, out of the weather, and away from the Red Maiden and the screaming sounds of the briars. Guys, ladies, thank you so much for playing. It's a ton of fun. But I will remind you, we've got 1, perhaps 2 more sessions. Because this is a very run adventure. What would you guys like me to do different or better next time, if anything?
Decide that we're gonna run longer.
can we pick up
All
that
right.
magic axe on the
How about the next time we do it, we'll run 3 hours instead of 2.
Session.
Okay, we'll do that.
We just started for work anyways.
Oh, you guys
Yeah,
are really
we'll-
good. You keep
we'll
a
grab that
fast
axe.
pace. You know, you got a good rhythm. You got a good momentum. You know how to keep the momentum going. I really appreciate it. Thank you very much.
no, thank you.
Thank you.
What I will say is on the 7th might be cutting it a little fine for our move. I think we're going to be.
Sure. I'm asking now. So
Hey.
get feedback. We can move the day of the week. We can move it past. But let's talk amongst ourselves on Discord and email the next couple of days and figure out the next session. But I've got no problem going a little further out and having a 3 or 4 hour session next time.
Okay.
All right.
We got that magic axe on the way back.
You did. And I'm going to tell you right now, the hedge mages can track it down. It's a +3 Bardiche. All right, guys, head out and let you guys go. What'd you think of the executioner and the torturer, huh?
Horrifying.
A lot of fun.
Yeah, that was awesome.
All right, crew. Thank you very much. I appreciate it again. I'm going to crawl into bed and get ready for an early morning of work. Consider maybe let's move it to Friday night or Saturday night next time so we can do like 4 hours. And thank you so much again for playing. I appreciate it very much.
Thank you, Rick.
Thanks, everybody.
Thanks for
you so
hosting.
much.
I love these guys.
Oh, holy shit, guys.
Right?
Also, recording ended